President Reagan's spokesman issued conflicting reports today about the fate of Haiti's President for Life, Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier. The spokesman had to do some quick reversing. They announced first that Duvalier had fled Haiti after being deposed. Haitians in this country rejoiced, hoping and believing the news was true. But in Haiti, a state of siege was imposed, the rioting continued, and Duvalier himself went on the air to say the reports of his downfall were greatly exaggerated. Our coverage begins with Juan Vasquez, who returned today from Haiti.
The crackdown began at daybreak. In cities across the island, soldiers, police, and the feared militia, known as the Tonton Macoute, moved quickly to abort expected demonstrations. They used clubs and tear gas freely in an effort to smother dissent. But in some places in the countryside, the government's control was practically non-existent. Gangs of youths set up barricades along major roads in the northwest. The U.S. Embassy warned the estimated 5,000 Americans in Haiti to stay indoors. So far, the dissent is leaderless, but there is universal agreement among the protesters that President for Life Jean-Claude Duvalier, known as Baby Doc, must go.
He get to live. Yes, it's time to change.
But in a televised speech from his headquarters in the capital of Port-au-Prince, Duvalier said he was determined to stay. A military band played martial music at the presidential palace to underscore the mood of toughness. At least one person was reported killed in the capital as the government put on a show of force to disperse crowds and to convince the nation that even after 28 years, the Duvalier era isn't over yet. Juan Vasquez, CBS News, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
This time they were sure it had happened. So the several hundred Haitians who gathered today outside a refugee center in Little Haiti again started celebrating the downfall of the regime most of them had fled. Freedom! Yes! But just like last night, their hopes were soon dampened.
We thought it was confirmed by Larry Speaks from the White House, and now we're in a situation of looking and seeing what's going to happen.
Last night, several thousand Haitians took to the streets as the rumor spread that Baby Doc Duvalier had relinquished power. As reality set in, someone in a passing car is reported to have yelled, "Long live Duvalier." What followed was a small riot. One person was killed. Today, fewer people were out. The demonstration was peaceful. Only an effigy of Duvalier was trampled, signaling their hope for the future.
He has to face for the money he has stolen, for all the crime he has committed.
No matter what the uncertainty in Haiti tonight, there's joy here because the people still feel the downfall of Duvalier could come at any time. Lem Tucker, CBS News, Miami.
Shortly after Air Force One took off for Houston this morning, White House spokesman Larry Speaks ignited a global news alert by telling reporters aboard the plane the White House was informed shortly before 7:30 a.m. that the government of Haiti has collapsed and the leadership, including Duvalier, had fled the country. The State Department has been carefully monitoring the crisis in Haiti because of its strategic importance to our shipping lanes. So when officials here heard about the Speaks announcement, they warned reporters that the president may have been given bad information because all the U.S. Embassy in Haiti knew was there were unconfirmed rumors of a coup. A Haitian embassy spokesman here in Washington seemed perplexed and indignant about the White House announcement.
Contrary to earlier U.S. government and news reports, President Jean-Claude Duvalier continues to carry out his responsibilities as head of state.
There was more than enough confusion to go around.
It took a bit more energy to get my act into shape.
Spokesman Kalb carefully avoided blaming anyone for the coup that never happened.
I'm not in a position, don't have it, the specific post-mortem of precisely how these things happen.
Shortly after Speaks returned to Washington, the State Department put out the word that it was to blame for the foul-up. Bill McLaughlin, CBS News, State Department.
In a speech to his parliament today, South African President P.W. Botha promised to reform some aspects of the apartheid system of racial segregation. Promises, but no specific immediate changes.
We have outgrown the outdated colonial system of paternalism, as well as the outdated concept of apartheid.
Botha proposed changing the Haiti pass laws which regulate where blacks may live and work. He promised to restore citizenship and property rights, and he spoke of including blacks possibly on a government advisory council, but he stopped way short of instituting the one-man, one-vote system that blacks want. And he made no mention of ending the government-imposed state of emergency.